Hey everyone, and welcome back to Ark Survival Ascended. Now if you're wondering why this intro is on the beach and not at the base, it's because my dumbass forgot to set up OBS properly and lost a solid 5 minutes of footage, though nothing important, thankfully. Also, I do apologize if my voice sounds a little nasalier than usual. I seem to have developed a cold over the past day or two and I'm none too happy about it. Anyways, to start off this episode, I took Goob down to the beach to farm some metal for a pike and other various recipes. Now it took me a minute to learn what rocks were metal and what weren't, so I did spend a while running around smacking boulders like an idiot. Once I had gathered enough metal to be comfortable with, I began making my way back up the beach and towards my base, stopping occasionally to have Goob murder some weak dinos for XP and hide. Back at base, I stripped to my undies to hopefully not die of heat stroke and tossed all my newly gathered metal in the refining forge. Unfortunately, the undies tactic didn't pan out and I did in fact die of heat stroke. Twice, actually. I went ahead and took a break to do my laundry before respawning in the hopes it would have cooled down by the time I was back, which thankfully it did. After grabbing my stuff from my body, I went ahead and crafted myself a pike so that I could stop using the equivalent of a wet pool noodle in self-defense. While out gathering some resources near my base, I stepped in a pile of dodo shit and lost my footing, and even though I fell less than 3 feet, I somehow managed to shatter every bone in my body on impact with the ground. Unfortunately for me, my body fell into a very difficult to reach ledge, and just when I thought I wouldn't be able to reach it, I remembered Ark had parachutes. After crafting myself one, I channeled my inner Tom Cruise and not so elegantly jumped off the edge and floated down to the ledge where my body was. Unfortunately, my peril was not yet over, as my journey home was filled with more drama than the current state of American politics. My first trial came at the hands of those damn snakes again, and luckily my mic was muted because every time I see one of these things, I scream like an absolute bitch. Just after escaping the last of the snakes, I swam across a small body of water that for some reason contained enough piranha to strip a KFC family bucket to the bone faster than you can say finger-licking good. After narrowly escaping the water with my life, Ark decided now was a better time than ever to spawn a Dilophosaur 3 feet in front of me. Figuring that was enough adventure for the time being, I decided to finally make my way home. Tragically, the ops had spun my block while I was gone, and Goob was nowhere to be found. It only took a short look around to confirm my worst fears. The snakes had invaded my land. Overcome with grief, I attempted to enter a state of Spartan rage, but seeing as I'm not a Spartan and possess the upper body strength of a wet picket fence, the snake easily dealt with me. Finding Goob's remains was enough to seal the deal. These snakes had to pay. But my next couple attempts made it clear I was far too undergunned and outmanned to mount a real offensive. Apparently not content with murdering my only friend and then me, the snake continued to ransack my territory, and with no real way to defend myself, I had to concede. The snakes had won. For now. Now freshly homeless, I spotted a small island on my minimap that seemed like it may be a decent place to rebuild what I had lost, so I began my journey there. On my way to the island, I tamed a Moschops, as they make very good early game gathering tames. I gave him the name of Fresh in honor of the fresh start I was forced to make. Fearing the dangers of taking such a slow and weak dino on such a long journey, I decided it best to make the rest of my journey by sea, like Christopher Columbus once did sometime before COVID. Who really knows the specifics? A few minutes after setting sail, I approached the island, and from my initial pass, it seemed as if it would be the perfect place to rebuild, if only Goob were here to see it. Settling on a spot near the shore, I unloaded my raft and placed on a storage box in preparation of building a compound on this island. Fresh made for an amazingly useful tame to have, as he could quickly harvest tons of the resources I needed from nearby trees and bushes. While harvesting some resources with Fresh, I stumbled upon an explorer's note, and if you're not aware, these make for an amazing source of XP at the expense of having to listen to some crazy old guy ramble for a couple of minutes.
See Miss Walker again.
Now I planned to make a perimeter around my new base out of spiked walls. However, seeing as they took hide to make and I had very little, some sacrifices had to be made. Plus, I still needed a way to get over the loss of Goob. Thus began. Well, now that I got that out of my system, back to work. With all the hide I needed, I crafted up a wooden gate as well as the spiked walls to place around it to form the walls of my compound. I also took a second to glance around the skill tree that was added in Survival Ascended and put in my first few points. I'm honestly still not entirely sure about this feature. It feels a little out of place in the base game in my opinion. With all of the walls placed, the outer walls of the compound are now mostly complete. It did turn out to be a little smaller than I anticipated, but I can always expand if the need for more space becomes prevalent. Now there was supposed to be another section here at the end of the video where I tracked down some dinos that dropped organic polymers I wanted to craft up a ghillie suit to help with how hot the island was. But I never found what I was looking for, and it made for a very uneventful 20 minutes, so I decided it was better off being cut. With all that being said, that's gonna go ahead and be where I end off this episode. I really enjoyed making this one, even though the snakes seemed hellbent on making that not be the case. If you watched this far and did enjoy it, I ask that you leave a like or a comment and hit that subscribe button, as that tells me you guys want me to continue this series and want more content like this. I'll catch you guys next time. Goodbye.